Hello, this is Mama D, and I'm the host of Petals of Support. Petals of Support is a podcast that offers advice from a mom to anyone that needs a little extra love and support. This is not advice for moms, but advice from a mom. I've covered such topics as forgiveness, how to forgive, when to forgive, and when it's okay to not forgive, letting go, how to make good decisions, and how to handle stressful situations. I'm not a licensed anything. I'm just a mom that wants to provide to you the same advice that I give my kids, my friends, and my family. You can find me on any podcast platform. You can also find me at Twitter at Petals of Support. Please go listen, find the episodes that apply to you, and maybe the ones that don't. You can file that information away for later. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Thank you.
Please be advised deals with some heavy topics and subjects, such as mental health, suicide, sexual assault, and more. Please listen at your own discretion and please seek professional help if you are struggling. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nuggiez. Oh boy, this week. I'll tell you what, if March Madness didn't mean anything in the sports world, it definitely means something to me now. Because this month has been a fucking roller coaster and a half. Fucking roller coaster. 1 minute I'm up, next minute I'm down. Next minute I'm up, next minute I'm down. Sometimes I know why, sometimes I don't. So, as of this recording, it's the 20th of March, and I don't even know how to start this, to be honest. Started the month okay, but then it just plummeted. I had such a bad week early in the month, mental health-wise, and I just didn't know why. I felt everything I was doing was making it worse. I hated myself. I felt really down on myself. You know, the last episode probably didn't really help with, bringing up all the weight stuff again. But like I've said before, you're probably sick of hearing me say it because it's like a broken record. But I'm here to be raw and open. And that's how I felt. But now as I sit here staring at my computer screen at 9 o'clock in the morning when I'm meant to be working, I honestly am stumped for words this episode. And usually I'd have some sort of idea of what I want to talk about, but this month has been such a roller coaster that I don't know how to talk about it. Between my own personal demons that I've been dealing with, as well as opening up extremely vulnerable, or being extremely vulnerable with someone I cared about deeply. And then you're just like, I don't know. I think that's the problem. That's the problem when you've gone through so much trauma, is that as soon as you're vulnerable, you're looking for that safety net. And there isn't one. Being vulnerable comes in many different shapes and sizes. But in the end, it's still under that umbrella of being vulnerable. And that means you're opening up and you're letting your walls down. And that is a scary thing. Letting your walls down when they've been up so high for so long is terrifying. You think you're going to push people even further away because now that they can see a little bit more, that little bit of a glimpse of the real you, or more so of the real you. And there's nowhere to hide. My whole life I've had a wall where it feels like I'm 10 feet away from the person I care about the most, or 10 feet away from someone I'm just talking to. There is always a guard up because I've been hurt so many times. And in the past week or two, I've started to really let those walls down with a particular person, and it really scares the shit out of me. Really scares the shit out of me. Some of my exes don't even know half the shit that I've been vulnerable about with this person. Like, on one side, it's great because it means I'm comfortable enough to do that. But then on the other side, once you've done it, you're like, oh, now what? Where's that safety blanket? Where's that net? Am I going to survive this? And, 9 times out of 10, it's just our heads. It's our heads fucking with us. It's not that big a deal. Whatever you end up being vulnerable about or whatever brings down your guard. But to us, it's like the biggest thing in the world. It's letting someone in when you've tried so hard to keep everyone out. But sometimes it's needed. You can't live your whole life with that wall. You can't live your whole life with, 30 arms between you and the next person. And in the end, if you're vulnerable to that person or to anyone and they run or they don't accept it, then they're not worth having in your life. And I think that's a hard truth that I've come to terms with in the past week or two. Is, okay, I've let my guard down. I've let them in. Am I now going to need to be pushed away, or am I now needing to push them away because they don't accept it? And it's been really hard. It's been really hard. I'm so afraid of losing certain people in my life because I've intentionally pushed so many others out that my circle is just getting smaller and smaller. And it's like, if I lose these last few people, then who do I have? But sometimes it's worth the risk, and you need to take it. I couldn't have asked for a better response than the one I got when I started letting my guard down. And for that, I thank them so much. Because not everyone is as accepting or kind. To really feel like I'm being accepted for being me and not needing to alter myself in any way, shape, or form is huge. It is huge. Even some of my closest friends don't know everything. And I don't think there's a single thing left to tell the person that I'm talking about. Being vulnerable is my biggest fear. I don't do it often, if at all, until now. And it was the best thing I've ever done. Which makes me think maybe I should do it more often. But then as soon as I start thinking that, I start to cower away again, and I want to hide, and I want to be under that blanket on my bed away from everyone. I want to be that emu with the head stuck in the sand. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist. I don't have to deal with it. And that's not a way to live. That's not a way to live at all. But much like a previous episode of Fight or Flight, that's how we survive. Trauma is a tricky thing. And it's not something you can cure or get rid of overnight or learn to accept overnight. It's something that if you've been traumatized, it will be with you your whole life. It's just how you handle it. And for many years, I haven't handled it. For many years, I've hidden myself away from the truth. And now slowly opening up and letting those walls down, I'm seeing that. It's wonderful and it's terrifying. And as I said to them this morning, I had a dream about it last night and I thought the worst. My anxiety got the better of me in my sleep, of all things. I woke up thinking I wasn't going to have them or other people in my life ever again. I had this horrible sinking feeling that it was all an act and they were going to run and I never see them again. And then taking other people with them and me being left alone. And I'm not just talking in a romantic sense, but in a sense as a whole, dying alone is terrifying to me. Dying in general is my biggest fucking fear. Like, overall, absolutely above everything. Dying is terrifying. Dying alone with no one there around you and being the crazy cat lady with the cats eating your face and you're home alone is ridiculous and a really real fear. But I can't keep hiding. We can't keep hiding. Society can't keep hiding. We hold secrets. We build up walls. We push people away. And for what? To save ourselves from being hurt. But being hurt is being human. Yeah, okay, it's not fun and it's terrifying and it hurts. But it makes us real. You know, it makes us resilient. It makes us strong. So why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Being vulnerable is scary, but it's needed. Being vulnerable, it can be the greatest thing on the planet. Letting people in to really know who you are. Letting those walls down. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm sure my psyche will fuck with me for days to come and I will have more of those horrible dreams. And as my anxiety kicked in my sleep last night, I keep picking up my lips, which is a nervous tick of mine. And I'm sure it'll be a roller coaster for a while because I'm not used to this. I'm not used to being this open or vulnerable. And the stupid thing is that I know deep down in myself that this person would never share anything that I've told them. And they don't judge me for it whatsoever. Yet I still feel like they're going to share everything I said and judge me for everything I've said to them. As much as I know that they're not going to happen. Well, they're not going to say that and that's not going to happen. My psyche says otherwise. It's an incredible thing to find someone, in a romantic sense or a friend sense, to find someone you can share your innermost, deepest thoughts with and your demons and have someone truly care for you. It doesn't happen often, and these people don't come along every day. But when they do, you just want to hold on to them so tight and never let them go. Because you're so afraid of yourself being hurt, but you don't want anyone to hurt them either. You don't want their light to dull in any way, shape or form because they just absolutely brighten your life. So This is a short episode, but it's a needed episode. And to anyone out there who's contemplating whether it's the right thing to do to open up and be vulnerable, I say do it. Because what's there to lose? If you do that and the person you're doing that to can't accept you for who you are, or the reasons why you were vulnerable to begin with, they're not worth having in your life anyway. And then if you are vulnerable to them and they stick around and they help you through what you're dealing with, even better. Vulnerability is a scary word, but we need to break that stigma because it's needed. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, fantastic, brilliant day, and you'll hear from me again in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone. Hi, like what you heard? Need a bit more Nuggiez in your life? Then come follow us on all our socials. That's at SSNUGGIEZ pod on all socials. Linktree is linktr.ee/SS Nuggiez pod as well. Come listen to us on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, Good Pods and more. Come on over, we always need an extra hug. Listener discretion is advised. This is not for the faint of heart. We deal with all topics, so just be aware. But come on over. You're always welcome.